Guys, let's talk about remote work for a bit. Because it's getting kind of crazy what people are pulling out there. And by people, I mean companies. Companies need to cut people a break. Look, if you want to have a debate about whether or not it's nice to be doing remote work, whether or not it's nice to be working in your pajamas and not even wearing boxers when you show up for your work meetings, you can have that debate in the comments section. There are clear merits to be able to work remotely and to be able to put on your dress shirt and polish your shoes before you head off to work. Both sides of the equation will yield merits. And I guess we'll have to wait for another 5 years or a decade before the Harvard Business Review comes up with best practices for employees and employers. Can we hold the employers accountable too? Thank you very much. We'll come up with the best practices for how to conduct remote work in a productive capacity. Because right now, the single overworked and overstrained thread upon which the world of remote work's productivity hangs by is trust between employers and employees. So should my employer trust me to put on my big boy pants as I'm presenting on a Zoom meeting for work? Absolutely not. Joke's on you, my employer, if you're trusting me to put on boxers for a meeting that's only going to need my top half. But it is important for employees and employers to have a bond of trust where the employer trusts the employee to get their work done remotely without the need to micromanage. So here's an example of what not to do with your remote employees. So Chetu is a US based, or rather is a Florida based, because all the interesting stories in the US seem to be coming out of that one state, software consulting company that enforces a rather rigorous standard of conduct, let's call it conduct, upon its employees. And while the company allows its workers to work remotely, how generous, how gracious of them, from different parts of the world, they require that the employees share their screen during the entire duration of the remote work. And here's the kicker, keep their webcam on for all of the 9 hours for which they're required to work. And that's a rule, right? That's a rule. There's a lot of stupid rules out there. And with stupid rules, you have to really ask yourself, how enforceable is this? Because if a rule is stupid and if it's not enforceable, it's not really too much of a concern. And if a rule is serious but it's not enforceable, it is also kind of a concern. But this rule happens to be stupid and pretty enforced. So kind of a cause of concern. To the point that when an employee working out of Netherlands refused to turn on their camera because why would I turn on my camera? This is my house. If I choose to not turn on my camera during work meetings, that is my right. And maybe we can have a conversation about it, but don't really make company policies to force me to do so. End scene. When this man refused to turn on his camera for work meetings, Chetu essentially fired this employee. So this employee wasn't having any of that stupid but enforceable rule business. So he took Chetu to court in the Netherlands. And this employee essentially sued Chetu for $73,000 for wrongful termination. Now guys, I happen to have a law degree from Hustlers University, so I can actually provide a bit of insight on the matter. Where's my degree? It's in a PDF attached to an email. I'll show it to you guys at some point. I promise I have that degree. But technically, the employment contract between an employer and an employee for most software companies are in an at-will capacity, meaning that employers can essentially fire employees without really showing a reason for doing so. But at-will isn't really a magic wand that you can wave at any issue and use it as a cause to fire employees, as it turns out. Because according to Article 8 of the European Human Rights Convention, you cannot have your employees work in conditions that are too strict. So I actually think, and I hope this lawsuit has merit and grounds, and Chetu can be sued for such strict behavior towards its employees. But guys, hang on a second. Hustlers University has taught me to hustle harder. So I actually did a bit of research, and it turns out that for its US-based employees, Chetu is actually paying about $160,000. So $73,000, and granted this employee is based out of Netherlands, but $73,000 is not even half a year of severance pay for a US-based employee. So my guy in the Netherlands, hit me up. Let me represent you and we will sue Chetu for millions of dollars. Hell, let's make it a class action lawsuit because I'm sure they're doing it to a lot of their other employees. I got you. I'll send you the PDF that I have attached in some email. I'll just have to find it from my junk folder, but let's talk. Hit me up and we'll make some money. At the heart of this problem is the need of employers to micromanage their employees. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're trying to get meaningful work done out of somebody, you have to give them autonomy and you have to show them that you trust their abilities and their competence to be getting the work that you assign them done. Because if your approach to making sure somebody gets work done is playing cops and robbers, then you're just expecting me to become really good at being a robber. You're expecting me to train myself in becoming the best getaway driver that I possibly can be. Right now, I'm talking to you, Chetu, because I happen to have a business management degree from Hustlers University. So hit me up if you want me to train your employees on how to not run away and keep suing you. But I'll give you a bit of advice for free. Judge the performance of your employees based on the work they get done. I feel like that should be easy to define. Just give them a chunk of work and give them a deadline, and if they get it done by that deadline, reward them. And let your employees turn off their cameras. If your clients are looking at the dirty dishes that are laying in the sink of your employees, that's not good for your company, dude. And also, if your employees are trying to do their dishes 3 days down the road because they're too busy doing the work that you assign them, then let them do it. It's their prerogative. Why are you trying to get in their business, yo? Anyway, micromanaging sucks for everybody. I hope you guys watching don't have a manager that micromanages. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.